Welcome back to more Division 2 action here between Sandman at the top of the screen and Pilot Adams at the bottom. Uh, Chris traditionally has been playing blue-black control for quite some time. He's going to have to find a new deck in a couple of weeks. Pilot's been on this one for a while as well. This is a green-black kind of stompy deck. I'm not really sure why. I think the black is for Scrap Heap Scrounger to repair it. We'll wait and see with that one. On the other side of the table, Field of Ruin is kind of and Fetid Paul's kind of confirming that he's on two colours. Field of Ruin's a bit tough to squeeze into a three-coloured deck, particularly, although it's much easier. It's easier now with the new lands coming up. Fatal Push here with the trigger, a return to hand trigger on the stack. There's a nice play there from Chris, so Green Belt Rampage is gone. Tyler actually could have protected it with Blossoming Defense if he wanted to, but he doesn't value it that highly. I think next turn you'll have 4 mana and a card like Steelleaf Champion might be a good target. I think Thrashing Brontodon, I'm a big fan of playing this and keeping up 1 mana. But he plays out Ronus first, and Ronus is going to get exiled by Syncopate. In comes a Scrounger, knocking Chris down to 14. Again, there's a bit of a choppy choppiness to this video. I'm not sure. I think it's the frame rate that Tyler is recording, and this is recorded by Tyler. But for those that don't know, the person on the bottom of the screen is always the person that's done the recording. So here's the Brontodon. This has to get counted, otherwise Chris is going to lose his Escanta. Is there a counter on the other side? There is. I think they skipped something there. Let me just check. Go back and check what that was. No, there wasn't. So he sacked the. It resolved and immediately sacked it to kill the search for Skanta. Galter is a 12/12 with trample, so that needs to be put down pretty quickly. I'm surprised there that Chris didn't take down the Steelleaf Champion. He must have a backup plan. He's got 2 cards left in hand. You can see another Thrashing Brontodon on Pilar's side here. Gelter is 12, but cost 12, but he can actually make it cost less by having creatures out. So he's got 5, he could actually afford it if he wanted to. What's he going to Field of Ruin here? Okay, nice play there. He casts Field of Ruin just to get the Fatal Push, to get the Revolt. It's actually a misplay from Chris because the trigger hadn't resolved, so the Fatal Push wouldn't have seen the Revolt at that stage. But yeah, he's seen enough. Tyler takes game 1 because he didn't have an answer to it. Blossoming Defense protected. Oh, okay, Duration from the sideboard here. Two Duress. Here comes number 1. What's going on? Oh, what do you take here? I think he can take the... If he wants to resolve a spell... Okay, he took Supreme Will, which is fair enough. We'll see if he wants to speed... So we know that Chris has got Disallow and Essence Scatter. He chose not to use either of them there. Now he's going to have to use the Disallow. Okay, so two counter spells down, Supreme Will and Disallow. We know he's still got Essence Scatter, so whatever Pilot plays here is going to get countered. He does have 2 Thrashing Brontodons. I'm not sure how many he's playing main deck. That's the Essence Scatter. And now a Fatal Push. So down to 3 cards for Chris, but... Oh, he needs a land here. He's not going to get it. But he is going to resolve his Brontodon. So Escanta... There needs to be some... Yeah, Vraska's Contempt will do it. I was going to say, it needs to be a removal spell. That's why I like to play the Brontodon with 4 mana. But the Stompy deck just keeps jamming threats. Ascanta will flip now, and so Chris starting to take a bit of control of this match. Looks like he doesn't want the Scrounger to resolve. Finds an Essence Scatter. We'll see if he wants to counter that. He does want to counter that. That's a pretty aggressive use of Essence Scatter. Particularly when Tyler's got the black mana and there's a creature spells in the graveyard. But Search for Scrounger is just a beast. I think Tyler does nothing here. Just pass the turn and then he's going to look at the top 4. Tyler does nothing, just passes the turn and then gets his Scrap Heap Scrounger back. Yep, I like that play. So Chris under pressure, he's got to find something, but you can see he's got this Scrounger and he had a Supreme Will. Finds a Fatal Push. That won't work by itself. He needs to somehow trigger Revolt. It's not going to work full stop because Tyler's got the Blossoming Defense. It's Scarab God. Now, how does the green deck deal with this guy? I don't know how he beats the Scarab God. I think he missed one there. He should have... I think this one's... I think he should have actually bought back the Scrap Heap Scrounger. He missed that opportunity. And now Chris can actually use the Scarab God to bring it back. Metallurgic Summon is a kind of a gimmicky type of card. Every time you cast an instant or sorcery, you create a whatever the mana cost is. So say Blossoming Defense would create a 1/1. Okay, there's one way to get around Scarab God. I'd be tempted to swing here, yes. Swing and then pump one of them, whatever gets blocked. Because Scarab God will go back to hand, but it will actually cost Chris a turn to play it. Because now he's going to start pumping out reincarnated creatures. The problem for blue-black compared, so now we can see the Metallurgic somebody's going to make a 4/4 because of the Glimmer. The problem for black when it doesn't have white is it doesn't have Fumigate, so more difficult to clear this board. A second Gelter. You can pretty much play that for free. Is this lethal? I think Chris is just dead here. Yeah, he's going to concede because Blossoming Defense can just pump whatever ones aren't blocked. Although, no, sorry, Steel Leaf Champion doesn't have... Yeah, Chris conceded in the chat and he said, actually, no, wait, I can live. Because the Steel Leaf Champions don't have Trample. Unfortunately, Gelter does, so that'll still do it. The only way out of this is a removal spell for the Primal Hunger now. Fatal Push is not that removal spell. So Tyler's going to take standard pretty quickly, 2 games to 0. And we move on to Modern. So he's playing a deck that I quite like here, which is Ponza, red-green Ponza. You can see the Ponza deck, it needs to have one of its 1-drops in its opening hand. So this is a keeper. He's going to mulligan it actually. So you can see he kept a 1-lander, can't take that Chandra. It was a super risky keep because he could put the Utopia Sprawl onto the land. The problem here is if Birds of Paradise, if you so-called bolt the bird, he's just straight up dead. Relic of Progenitus on turn 1, so it looks like, I'm going to guess here, it's Black-White Eldrazi, Titolo Sculler. What do you take here? I think you've got to take Bloodman. He's got the planes, but the thing with this deck is it can survive. Chris's deck can play off a single plains and a single swamp. But the problem is, if he knows he's against Ponza because he saw the Molten Rain and the Bloodbraid Elf, the Swamp and the Plains are not long for this world. Sauron is going to be really good here for an ultimate. There's a second land. What do you run out here? This is interesting. I think he's got to go... I think he's actually got to play Tracker here. He's going to go for the Blood Moon. He's got to put pressure on Sauron because Sauron's 2 turns away from ultimate. He's not going to be able to stop the Sauron ultimate here. Relic of Progenitus is only in this deck, main deck, so that he can... Okay, Bloodbraid will stop the Sauron ultimate. Relic of Progenitus is only there because he plays Wasteland Strangler, which needs cards in exile. Now this was game over. If he didn't swing that Tide Hollow Scholar, this one was game over because Sauron was gonna. Well, Sauron's gonna ultimate anyway. Oh no, he pathed his own guy. Okay. Reality Smasher. And at Smasher, yeah, Parler's seen enough, so Chris takes game 1 of his Black-White Eldrazi. Tyler had to meld a 5 and kept a 1 lander, so we didn't really get to see what Ponza could do properly. This is a definite keep, this one. He's got to, unfortunately for him, he's got to name Red for his Utopia Sprawl. But you can see the line up here. It's going to be turn 2, or was going to be turn. Oh no, he's got 2 Molten Rains. Yeah, so turn 2 Molten Rain. So no lands for Chris. So you can see Tyler's going to have a 4-drop next turn. Chris is still on a 1-drop. Ghost Quarter is a good one here, so no 4-drops coming. He can Ghost Quarter that forest. He's not going to do it. I think he's just going to die now. Yeah, I mean, he's got no lands, but the only thing I can think of is he kept a super risky one there. But he really need, and see, Blood Moon's going to kill him. We're going to game 3 here. He's going to Ghost Quarter himself to get the mana. And it's a nice play. Very nice play there from Chris. What he did was he floated the mana to get a colorless, then he Ghost Quartered it to get a swamp, so to get a plains, and then cast Celestial Purge to kill the Blood Moon. Tide Hollow Skull is going to go down, thanks to Pierre and Kieran. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inferno Titan's coming next turn, so he needs something to happen pretty quickly. We have seen Path to Exile, so he does have answers for the Inferno Titan. Whether he has them in hand or not is the big question. Tyler looking for land number 6. Chris is starting to recover now. Combo, I don't know if, I mean, decent in this. The reason I say that is because Ponza tends not to play a lot of targeted creature removal. Yeah, so I don't mind bringing in that card. Oh, that's just juicy for the Inferno Titan. It'll clean up those 2 Lingering Souls, and every time it attacks, it's going to do 3 damage. So Lingering Souls is really bad against an Inferno Titan. He needs to have a Path to Exile here. Oh, that'll work. Anguished Unmaking. Because the other thing here is Inferno Titan also outclasses Eldrazi, the Stompy guy, Reality Smasher. Yeah, but he'd seen enough, so we're going to game 3. So this is an X. I'm surprised he milled that one. It would look like a pretty good keep. What do you take here? The moon, I'm sure. Yep. So this is a bit a flimsy hand here from Chris. I think you take the Arbor Elf. Yep. Because he's got two non-basics. So aggressively plays out the tracker here, but you can see he's out of. Oh, and Thornknight's going to get that lightning bolt. So Thornknight's here is a good one here. Pilot doesn't actually have a card in his deck that can beat Thornknight's here. Tyler's tracker can quickly get bigger than it. He's offering a trade here, 2 for 1, but Tyler not interested. And a second Thornknight's here. So this is crushing. Okay, he's going to get some card draw here. And Tyler's tracker is going to actually work as a blocker. Does he want to? Can he? He can't take another hit though from the. He can't take another hit from the double Thought-Knot Seers. Well, now he's just straight up dead. So Chris takes down Modern 2 games to 1. What's Tyler on here? Blue Black Death Shadow with Spell Pierce in the name. So we're on to Legacy now, by the way. The Watery Grave on turn 1 just gives it away. Oh no, he's not. He's on Sultai because there's a forest sitting there. Chris, he takes the Birthing Pod. Yeah, Watery Grave turn 1 obviously just gives it away. So what's he going to name here? This is interesting. Because Death Shadow doesn't mind doing this, bouncing a Watery Grave to play it back because it gets the life total lower again. Yeah, I would have been. I think the play there, if Chris would have to confirm it, but I think he would have named Death Shadow. Doesn't like any of those. Well, either way, he can shuffle because he's going to get that second land. Yeah. Well, actually, it's his third land, so he can shuffle those other cards away. Voice of Resurgence is going to be a 2-turn roadblock here. He can actually play it out if he wants to. Yeah, there's no lightning bolts on the other side. It's Subzone, so he's pretty safe with the Death Shadow. And now he's held up Spell Pierce. That's not going to work. Yeah, you can only let it resolve. As Voice gets in now, he's going to find a second Death Shadow. How low is he going to go? He's going to get another Watery Grave. Keep up the blue mana. So he actually flashed Spell Pierce. He went to play it, so Chris knows about it. He can play around it now. So I think Spell Pierce is going to have to be fodder for Force of Will. Diabolic Intent. What's he going to search for here? Diabolic Intent, of course, is just a black tutor. Well, he used the Diabolic Intent to sack the Elemental. To sack the Voice of Resurgence. Abrupt Decay, that'll work. Can't be countered. Nothing going on the other side, though. Scavenging Ooze will get the job done. Down to, I think Tyler's just dead here. He's going to die next turn because Scavenger News can go to 3 here. It's going to eat a few creatures. And is that just lethal? Yep, Chris takes game 1 of Legacy. On to game 2 now. This is a Delver there. Siege Rhino in Legacy. He takes Dragon Lord Jamoka. Yeah, I don't know if there's any card in his deck that can actually beat Dragon Lord Jamoka. And it takes 7 mana to actually cast it, but once it's down, it's a 5/7 with it can't be countered, and it and also means that the opponents can't cast spells on your turn. So Chris is in the market here to kill these veteran explorers. If only that wasteland was a coloured land, then Delver with Ponder or Brainstorm would have been a good one. He's not going to be able to kill these veteran explorers now to get the land from them, because these Delvers are flying. He is though a turn away from playing Siege Rhino, except Chris knows about the days. So what's the second? Now he's going to do this in upkeep to make sure it resolves. Pretty safe because there's no counter spells on the other side. Nubs on colours. So 2 Force of Wills. What does he want to put back? So 2 days. Is he going to shuffle away that second Force of Will? So down to 11 goes Chris. So he's just shuffle. Yeah, he's going to shuffle away the Force of Will. He needs to find a. Well, Gurmagang, well, that'll work. Well, that's not going to be good on this board because Chris is trying to kill these veteran explorers. But you can see he's stumbled big time on land. He's missed his last few. Tyler's at 7, so it's getting close. So there's going to be lethal next turn. He's at 5, so he's got to top deck some sort of removal spell for a flyer right now. Otherwise, we're going to game 3. Oh, he does not, so we're going to game 3. So we saw Tyler take down Standard pretty quickly in 2 games. Chris fought back to take down Modern in 3 games. And so, wait, did Tyler take down, or did Tyler take down Modern? Yeah, Tyler took down Modern, sorry. So Tyler's going for a clean sweep here. What's this? This is going to be for the land, I think. Green Sun Zenith for our Veteran Explorer. That's not... Okay, so he's got the Cabal Therapy, so he's got the way to sack it this time. He can't actually play Force of Will because he doesn't have a second... He doesn't have a second blue source. I wonder if he's going to name Force of Will here. He does. Oh, yes, I see that's another one where, yeah. Oh, no, sorry, he named Death Shadow. So when we moved in, that was all perfect. I think they just... But he does know what's in Pala's, or until this card he knew what was in Pala's hand. So Tyler's going to get a look. What's going on? 3 cards in hand on the other side. Takes the Siege Rhino. That was the payoff. But you can see Tyler's got the Dismember, so Siege Rhino is not going to work anyway. So here's a second Veteran Explorer. So that's a nice one of Cabal Therapy. You can flashback Cabal Therapy as well here. Pilot chooses not to shock that time. He's at 9, he's at 8 now. He's desperately looking for something because he's got all the answers, all the reactive cards in his hand, but nothing too proactive. On the other side, Chris looks to be in the same position. 6 mana is more than he needs, but he just doesn't have the... Okay, it's Green Sun's in. This has to be countered. Wait and see what it's for. This will be a spell pierce this time. Tyler at 7, so Green Sun Zenith can find him a threat. Eternal Witness is going to get back something here. I wonder if this is going to get Force of Will. We'll see what he gets back first, I suspect. Green Sun Zenith, yep. You can't Zenith for anything with 3. Oh, he could actually Zenith here for the Eternal Witness if he wanted. He went for 1. I'm surprised he's gone for this on the Veteran Explorer. My guess here is... Oh, he can't actually thin his deck because he's got all his basics out. Okay, here's a threat. Delver of Secrets. But 19 is a long way to go when you're at 4 life. What's Cabal Therapy? He's not going to be able to name anything here. That must be his draw off the top. If that was his draw, I would have kept it until I drew a threat. And he played it before the threat. Thoughtseize. We'll see what that last card in hand is, possibly. No, we won't. Okay, Voice will do it. Now Tyler with big problems. Okay, Gurmag Angler is a good one. And he can hardcast his Force of Will here. So this is a very tight situation. Oh, he's going to swords the... He swords the Delver. Tyler chooses not to protect it. He could have used Force of Will there. Because I think he kind of wants to... Thoughtseize is not the card you want here. But he's up to 7 life. But Chris is not going to win this race. Now he's definitely not winning the race. And with Force of Will backup, I think Tyler might have this for a clean sweep. I think both players just fluffed if their draw's too long in that middle period. There's lethal on board now for Tyler. And there'll be a lethal attack coming next turn, and he will take it. Well, Siege Rhino is going to buy him a turn. But won't, and Chris is going to concede. So Tyler takes down Legacy 2 games to 1 as well.